And the more I relax my body, the more I become quiet. I release all the tensions of my neck. And put an attention of all the muscles of my face. Keeping my eyes open or semi-open. I continue to breathe at my own pace. Letting the tensions going out and taking in the peace. I withdraw my attention from everything outside, the sounds, images. And I turn my attention inward. I go in my inner space, which is tranquil, quiet, calm. It's my inner secret space. In there I feel peaceful and secure. Because I'm the only one who can go there. And I recharge myself, taking these few moments, few minutes, just for me. I am a being of peace. I am a being of love. I am like a little star, a point of energy. Shining in the center of my forehead. I can feel my strength. A peaceful soul. And I let this peace growing inside of the self, vibrating in every cell of my body. And I offer that peace to the whole world. I bathe in the ocean of peace. And I make my life peaceful and meaningful. I just take a few minutes to reflect on this feeling of peace. Appreciating every breath. That comes in and out. Because air is the life of my body. And I, the soul, I'm the one who can control the pace. The reactions and the actions. I am the one who decides, discerns. I am the one who makes my life powerful, meaningful. And from this inner space, I share with all the best of who I am. Freely, with love and peace. Om, I am. Shanti, peaceful. Good evening. You didn't know that I had taken your picture, right? It's there. You're all yogis, right? Isn't that beautiful? This is what you look like when you are sitting peacefully, introverted. This is what we look like. And so, good evening, welcome to everyone. Is anyone here for the first time tonight? You are, so double welcome. And I think that some of you don't know me, so I will present myself. My name is Micheline. and I'm with Brahma Kumaris for 10 years, almost 10 years. And if I chose to talk about inner powers, powers of the soul, it's because when you want to teach, it's because we want to learn. Is that true? So we want to teach, we have to learn. And I was really interested in discovering what were these powers that we are talking about here. How does it come together? Where it's coming from? What can I do with it? How can I apply that in my own life? So I will discover that with you tonight. And just for some, I would say, descriptions of words. In the meditation, I was talking about the soul. So you can replace the soul by spirit, inner being, whatever it fits the best for you. So just translate for you. And so I will talk about the powers of the soul. So the soul for us, the Brahma Kumaris, it's that inner energy that gives life to the body. We do think that we have a body, but we are not our body. If we lose one part of our body, or if when we're getting old, we don't remain always the same, or we change and we can lose a part of it. But the soul is the one who enables the being, who experiences everything through this body. So we'd say, I can hear things, but the soul will listen to things. There's a small difference. I can hear, it goes here, goes, right through. But when I really listen, the soul is listening, so the being is listening to the other ones. So same for, let's see, seeing. So I can see something, but I can really see from the inside, meaning there is a kind of attention that I project over what I'm seeing. I just don't just look at it. I can look at it, but when I see it, it's because I see something deeper in that. So this is just to put you on the same stage as I am. I'm a bit high. I usually sit down there with all people, talking to them. So bear me tonight. It's my first night, like standing on the stage. So you are the lucky ones. I am the lucky ones because you all came here to listen and share with us a little bit of the knowledge we can give, or not pretending to give, but to re-emerge in yourself, because you already know probably all these things. So the powers we have, we see like 8 main powers, and they are all like thread together. Sometimes it's really difficult to say, okay, this is that power or this power. They all tend to cooperate together, but there are still some differences. And if we just take the a fast tour of the powers, there is first of all the power of introversion, the power to go within. We talk a little bit about that in the meditation. And after that we have the power to let go. This is a great power as well. Power to tolerate, which is another one. Power to accommodate, power to discern, to decide, power to face, and the power of cooperation. So these powers, it's like a wheel that we can play. So we can go and just turn the wheel and say, okay, I want that power, or we can decide which power we need at one moment. And all powers are coming from value, virtues, I would say. And the difference between a virtue or quality and a power is when that virtue becomes so innate, inculcated in ourselves, that it becomes a power so it can transform the atmosphere. Someone can be patient, but someone can be so patient, but the true patient, I will tell you the definition after. True patience would lead to transform a situation. Patient, we think that sometimes we're not patient, but the real patience is to know that every seed will come up, every thought will come at its right time. So some seeds, they will take few days just to grow, and some they take years to grow up. But we know that when we plant a seed, when we sow a seed, it will bear fruits whenever it's the time for it to bear fruits. So real patience will be, let's say, if I just teach someone or one of my children, or I teach something, just knowing that it will come, but not when I want that thing to come, but when it's the time to be there. Some people, they had great ideas, beautiful ideas, and they never took birth. But after many, many, many years, suddenly, whoops, it emerged again. And, you know, it makes wonders, right? Do you agree with that? Okay. So are you ready to discover the first power, which is the power of introversion? So the way we did it is that we took you. It's okay for you. You don't. You're. It's okay for you. You are fine with the PowerPoint. Okay. So we took 3 main qualities to represent the power, or what is it made of? What is the recipe for the power of introspection? So we have, first of all, silence, detachment, and concentration. Why? Why silence? It's because in the mind, when we are not silent, when we are always putting some new ideas or thoughts on the mind, it becomes so clouded, so we cannot just reflect on what we want to reflect. So we have to silence the mind. And we need also detachment. Not detaching ourselves from the whole world, but just detach ourselves and being, like I would say, the state of observer, detached observer. I will just observe. Like a surgeon, for example, has to be detached in order to make a good operation, right? If the surgeon is not detached, and if he has, let's say, feelings in regards of the person he has to make the surgery, they won't let him do it because he can shake, you know. This is why they don't let any surgeon to operate their children or something close to them. And I heard lately that someone, she had someone that she knew from birth. She was a friend of her daughter, and she became a doctor, and she says, "Oh, may I be your patient?" And she said, "No, I cannot. It's not, it's not our rule to accept someone we know already or we know well as a patient, because we can make a mistake," right? So that kind of detachment, a situation that comes, that arises, in order to be able to do something good with that, we have to get detached a little bit, because all situations that come will trigger inside of us some kind of emotions, and emotions are coming from past experiences, right? So a situation comes, triggers the emotion, so I cannot just reflect properly on that situation. I will be pull in one way or the other one. So I cannot be really inside and reflect properly on what is there. And concentration. Concentration is like one thought at a time. Is it possible? One thought at a time? Is it possible to do that? Yeah, it could be. It's difficult. I agree with you. It is difficult. But we can practice. I mean, when we're talking about meditation or powers of the soul, that's something that we will acquire in 1 or 2 days. It's something that can be achieved if we think about it and if we practice. But it's attainable. It is really. So this inner quietness recharges our battery and refills our spiritual full tank. So this power of introspection, when I can not only sitting down, but I can also be walking or cooking. Sometimes cooking doesn't require too much attention. Sure, if I cut vegetables, I pay attention to what I'm doing, but still I can be introverted and I can be in silence inside and detached, and this concentration would be an intention, a quality of something I want to put when I do cook. Let's say you are waiting for your dear children that you didn't see for months and they are coming for dinner. So usually we are quite concentrate on what we are doing, and we have an aim, to cook the best for them, and we put so much love in that food. And when they come and they eat, they can feel it. And this is why they always say mom's food is the best, right? Because of the intention we put in that food. So concentration, one thought at a time, it is possible, it is feasible when we are starting to meditate. So sure, the practice is there. And so with this power of introspection, I had put the silence, the power of silence aside, and just see what is in this silent power. Can we see the other? Oh no, it's too power of silence, yes. So this silence in itself, it can be a power. And in this power of silence, we have only one powerful thought, and the end of useless words. Remember, and this power is very, very useful when you have, let's say I had a situation with someone, that every time I would meet that person, I would feel bad, and I would feel with judgmental thoughts in my mind, and so why does she act like that, and what, and a lot of things there, and I was not feeling really good about it. And it seemed that just thinking of her qualities, or was not enough for me to transform everything. So I went into silence, and I decided to work, not on her for sure, work on myself. And few months ago, I had received a blessing. Everyone knows what is a blessing? It's a small statement that we give. And did you ever got a blessing? We have to give them a blessing tonight before they go. So I had that blessing, and I decided to go deep in that blessing, just to heal the self, to heal these thoughts of negativity that were coming, and I didn't know from where, because that person is very nice, very gentle, but it was only the vibration. Sometimes, as I said, it comes from past experiences, and we don't know what's happening. So that blessing stayed is it's here actually. I brought it. It's in French, and it's a beautiful blessing. And it says, you are a royal soul and silent, and in that state you help the Father in his task. And dependent, you not imbibe, comment incarner? Incarnate? You incarnate freedom and greatness. So this one, what I did with it, I wrote it down. Not once, not twice. I wrote it down 20, 25 times. Reflecting on each word, what it means to be a royal, what it means to be silent, and what it means to help the Father. Ocean of love, ocean of peace. So if he's my Father, I should follow that, you know. And independent, you incarnate freedom and greatness. And so I wrote it down, and after I knew it by heart, I just forgot tonight because it's in English and this is French, and anyways, so, and I reflect on that. And what happened a few weeks after, that person, I heard that she needed something. And I heard the conversation, and as soon as I knew she had a need, my heart opened, and I offer myself like, hello, coming from nowhere. And what happened is that it freed me from all those negative thoughts I had, and it bring me back my freedom and my greatness, I would say, because every one of us is so great inside. And it's to see that, to really realize who we are. It's another, I would say, work. It's another work, and it's possible. But just to, you know, the power of silence, not saying anything, not talking about it, but just go inside and really imbibe virtues and seeing myself as is and reflect on that had changed my attitude against the other one. And I'm sure that the other one could feel it. See, when, let's see, yeah, so many examples in our life. When we meet someone and, you know, this kind of sometimes gossiping or talking against someone else, and we take a direction. We don't go inside and we don't go silent and just be an observer of what's happening to that one in front of us. We get involved instead. We get involved in the situation, and we judge the other one, you know, without knowing nothing. So this power of introversion, power of silence, can help us a lot in our daily life if we start to apply it, if we start to think about it. That will help us a lot. So what is subtle and condensed is what is most powerful. Like an atom, right? It's very subtle, but very, very powerful. And sometimes we think, do you think that your thoughts, that you are powerful, that your thoughts are powerful? Do you think so? Yeah. Can you experience that your thoughts are powerful? Yes, no? Because they are. Because whatever happens, I did create that in my life. In a way, in a sense, I just took decisions and thinking, and my thinking and my actions brought me here tonight. So your thoughts are very powerful. And knowing that, when I realized that my thoughts were so powerful, I started being very aware of what I've been thinking of. And yeah, it changed my life, actually. So this power of silence, only one powerful thought, and I can say a powerful thought or a powerful intention, an intention that I put in, and I follow this intention. This value could be a value that I want really to inculcate, to take mine, and this is really powerful. And so the next one again, please. And that leads to the power of transformation. So this power of silence, power of realization, leads to the power of transformation, which is really the aim and the goal of the Raj Yoga meditation. It's eventually to transform the self. Everything we do, actually, everything we do in our life do transform the self, right? Everything we learn, everything we experience, we're built on that. Everything we think, and the more we think of something, the more we become that. So the more I will think about the power of the soul, the more I will just make experience, and bringing that to my own life, the more powerful I will get. Okay. The other one. Yes, it was that. Thank you, Liam. So when I come, I can withdraw within. So what I want to create beauty, right? And when my mind is clear, when my intellect is powerful, I can create beautiful things. I can create images that will inspire me to get better. This image represents the soul in its creation. And as we can see, everything is in order, everything is beautiful, everything is clear. And to enable us to have a clear mind like that, we will need the other powers that we'll talk about, which will be the powers to discriminate. I want to read you something before. It's something that the Daddy Prakashmani, she's the one in the middle of this little portrait there. She left the body a few years ago. And she said something beautiful. She says, only a powerful soul can only a powerful soul can afford to be humble. If we are weak, then we become selfish. If we are empty, we take. But if we are filled, we automatically give to all. This is our nature. Do you have any comments or something that emerged? Any thoughts on the first power? Okay, if I can repeat the question. The last comment, you want me to repeat it? It's so beautiful. It's beautiful, right? It's almost a meditation by itself. It's a deep reflection. As she says, only a powerful soul can offer love. Only a powerful soul can afford to be humble. If we are weak, then we become selfish. If we are empty, we take. But if we are filled, we automatically give to all. This is our nature. Yes, nice. Very nice. Any thought on that? Yeah, it's beautiful. Yes.
It comes back to you can't give what you don't have. So if you're completely empty, there's no way of you to give, whether it be money, emotion,
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that it comes back to what you really have. If you don't have something, you can give it back, which, even if it's time or money, or here we are talking of spirituality. But if you don't love yourself, you cannot love others. This power of introversion is the power also of self-respect. Respecting the self, the who I am. And in the story I told you, it was like I couldn't afford to be distracted by my own thoughts coming from nowhere or from somewhere in the past, I don't know. I couldn't afford that because for me I thought it was so important to be the best of the self, because when you experience to be the best of yourself, we don't want anything else, right? When if you remember a time when you were at your best and everything was so nice in your life and powerful, and often it was times when you were maybe alone by yourself in solitude. And these moments are so powerful. We want to go back to that. Why do we meditate? Why do we take the time to sit down and come here, let's see, and reflect on things that we don't take time in our daily life to do? We had a retreat in Peace Village few years ago, and we were discussing about the powers, and I will tell you what they shared about. Hope I get it. Yeah. So some people said that they were sharing the importance to be centered. And for sure they said that meditation is a part of introspection, right? And we need to be introverted in order to apply those powers. So this is the main thing. The basis of it is just to stop and reflect, right? And when we are able to do that in a daily basis and few times a day, it helps us for all the other powers. They were saying in an uncomfortable situation, we need to be detached for not bringing everyone in those energies. Right? So let's see if in our work, for example, there are some situations and it's going very bad. And so we have to detach ourselves. We don't want to bring that home. We don't want to bring that with our friends or with others. So to detach ourselves, it's not, as I said, to be against the world or be really just with myself and not talking to other ones. It's not that power. Another one said, balance introspection, because some people become so detached and they can lose sight of reality. This is another point of view, right? Which is quite right. So it's not to be so unsensible and just being myself. It's nothing selfish in that introspection. And another one said, silence requires to listen to our inner wisdom, and sometimes we do not apply that rule. That person said that she realized that sometimes she doesn't go inside and she doesn't listen to her inner wisdom enough. Sometimes we say, should we follow our mind or intellect, or should we follow our intuition? And so many times we didn't follow the intuition. We didn't follow the inner wisdom, which is intuition actually. And we said, oh my God, I should have done that. And someone says something interesting. So he says answers come between action and inaction. What do you think about that? Answers are coming in between action and inaction, in this space of silence in between. And it means that usually a question, you just ask the question. And if I asked you a question, what should I do? Waiting for the answer is the right answer. Yes. So sometimes we ask questions and we do answer too fast, or we do go to the end too fast. We don't wait for the answer. We don't really let it sit there and let our wisdom come in and give us our answer. Pardon me. And yes, we saw that the little turtle is the emblematic of the power of introspection, because the turtle will withdraw in itself, just to digest. When it eats, it will digest inside. It's a protection. It's there to take a rest. And in that retreat, there was a member of the Indian nation, and the name of that nation was the Turtle Nation. And she says that being in your environment, but moving slowly, thoughtfully, with the sense of detachment, not taking side scenes, having silence and concentration. It's a difference between that pace and the pace of dominant cultures we live in. So that emblematic of, the turtle, even the Turtle Nation, they have the same description as the power to go within, to be introverted. So, do you think it's possible to meditate a few times a day? You're doing that already? How are you doing that? Every day? Not every day? Okay, that's great. Okay. I'm looking at meditation can be as short as 20 seconds. Up to. But to stop and reflect many times during the day. Just, we can call it the SOS practice. SOS practice. So stop, observe, and steer. This is a practice. And this practice is very useful when we are with other people. We can do that as well. It doesn't mean that when we are, let's say, with a family and a lot of people around us, that we just go in the moon. And no, we just can reflect few seconds. How do I feel? Where am I going in that conversation? Or where do I want to go? Where do I want to direct people? Because we can change. We are so powerful. We can change the pace. We can change the way the conversations are going as well. Right? Any thoughts?
I've tried that more on being very mindful of the situation, especially when things get heated with arguments.
Mm-hmm.
I found that in a regular discussion or a regular scenario where you stop.
Do you want to come and just share it?
I can talk louder.
No, because it's registered and we have some people that are listening to us. Do you want to come and just share? Sure. Come and just share.
I found that doing the mindful approach of stopping and looking at the situation that I'm in is hard at the beginning, but it gets easier with practice. The most difficult times I find that to apply that technique is when you're in an environment where it gets heated in terms of an argument, and I find that I get carried away very, very quickly, and then the argument happens and the result of those arguments happen, and it's only after you can look back and say, I should have done it. But catching yourself early is that's what I find in arguments the most difficult part.
Yes, catching yourself early. You know, when you start to practice meditation, practice being aware of your thoughts, comes one time where we can feel the beginning of the thought, because all these are quite the same. Their arguments and conflicts are made of the same stuff. It's always the same recipe. The touches and emotion, back and experience, and after touching the ego, wanting to prove something or wanting to defend myself, against. But when I don't have these desires of winning, I don't have the desire of to win. And if I just can stop that wave, or that wave of negativeness, I would say, when I just feel it, I can stop it, take a deep breath, and listen. And we are coming to that power to discern. Listen to what people are saying, but don't listen to what it's not true in that. This is how they do the conflict resolution, right? When we are with someone, let's say, and there are some arguments coming, and let's say just one-to-one person is complaining about the situation, happens with another one. What do you know? What do we know about that situation? We were not there. And even if we are there, we are not in the mind of this one and in the mind of the other one, and we don't know the why and where it's coming from for the other one, that what happened there. So if we take, let's see, if we take the side of one, we are splitting everyone, right? Even in the family, something happened. If I am on the side of my daughter, let's say, and I give her a reason, I say, yes, you're right, and he's wrong, let's say, I just split the family in two. Do you agree with that? Even here, let's say I'm talking to you. It's a talk, It's a talk, conversation. And if someone says, no, I don't agree with what you're saying, that can happen. And it's good that when it's happened, it happened, because it makes us reflect a little bit deeply. Maybe I didn't see the whole picture of it. And this side is as valuable as my side, right? And each one has a different way to experience things. But if I don't allow the other one to be right as I am, I just split people in between in two. It's a crash. And this is why the world is crashing today. Because he's right, everyone wants their own right, and they want to take from the other one and say, I'm right, no, he's wrong. So there is a saying that says, it's not right, it's not wrong, it is. And what do I do with that situation? It's my own decision. Thank you for that opening. Other thoughts? Should we go to the other one? Okay, let's go to the power of discernment. I want you to to look at that. Okay, so the power to discern takes truth, clarity, and honesty. And as I said a little bit earlier, the power of discernment, I don't know, comment tu dis ça en anglais? Like the image that represents that power is a diamond. And why is it a diamond? Why do you think it's a diamond? It's rare. Wow, okay. It's light, yes, it's light, clear. A lot of facets, yes. Lots of facets on the same situation. And also it takes a good eye to discern a real one than a false one today. Well, so many stones that don't have any value, and they are diamonds. Pardon me? Yeah, it can be synthetic. Yeah, it's like false. So we need a good eye, a very good eye to discern what is true and what is false. And usually what is true, it's something that lasts. It's something usually imperishable. All the stories we put in, it's not necessarily true. You know, a story sometimes it's like a broderie. There is a situation happen, and we just put many details on that were not there. That, you know, we have a lot of imagination. I do. Do you have a lot of imagination? So with our capacity of creating stories, and, you know, enhance a part and hide another part. So the story becomes, you know, two people or three people, they went to see the same movie, and at the end of the movie they don't have the same reaction, they don't have the same story. You say, oh, are you sure you went to the same movie at the same night? Not the same story. So everyone has interpreted the story in its own way. So power of discernment takes truth. What is truth? And I think it's the most difficult thing to find in ourselves. What is true? The truth can be, she came in the office this morning, she didn't look at me, and she went straight to her desk. What did I do? I went to see her and say, oh, how are you feeling this morning? Did I do anything wrong with you? You see, all the story that I'm putting on. And she would answer, no, I just got up very late and I don't feel good, and that's it, you know. But we tend to make stories on facts. And so in myself, my feeling was real, that I felt maybe I did something wrong to my friend. She's my friend. So my feeling is real because I felt it. But the story is not. So to find the real truth in the self, it's the most difficult thing. To be honest heart. So sometimes it takes that, the story I told you about that blessing. I mean, I could see I was the one, you know, feeling that, putting stories, or, you know, telling stories and feeling bad or feeling these vibrations. That was true, the feeling were true. But the story I put on was not. So I had not enough clarity in myself to distinguish on the spot what was going wrong with me. I just went on these feelings and emotions, and, you know, emotions are driving us down so many times. So this and clarity. A diamond, it's clear, and power to the power to go within, and this power of discernment are very close together. I mean, they work really well together. So it's like if my window, if I put some dirt in the window, I will not see clearly what's going on. So if my mind is like a window and I put some dirt in it or some false things, or I will not see clearly in my mind. So honesty. Are we able to be honest? But it's nice because when we are honest with ourselves, we are the only one that knows that, right? It's like our secret space, and we can talk honestly to the self and say, okay, you stop it, please. Be gentle with yourself, because all these things are coming from bad habits or bad way of thinking, or not analyzing correctly the whole situation, all the facets, like you said. You know, a diamond, so many facets, and sometimes one facet is not clear, the other one is clear. So to be able to see all the parts of it, and to turn it and to make it shine. In fact, the diamond isn't our forehead. And honesty. So discernment protects us from illusions. Illusions created by ourselves or the society in which we live. Illusions are, a lot of illusions are created right now around us. We are surrounded by all illusions. Everything is illusion. Everything, the food, the cars, everything that people want us to buy or dreams. Yes, illusions, dreams. Yeah, so you will be so happy if you have that kind of car. Believe me, I'm telling you the truth. This car is the best ever, right? Or clothes for us, and everything else, how we should look like, what is the best for us, everything that attracts, all the materialistic things, everything material, you have to own to be happy. We don't have to own to be happy, we have to be, right? Just to be. And others are so appreciative of when you are really yourself and you are really true and honest. People, they will just come to you and, you know, try to get you, because honesty attracts, clarity, purity attracts. I think we have another one for this one, yeah. Yeah, other benefits of power of discernment. Whoops, just before. We're not flying yet. We're not flying yet. So, discernment helps us to remain emotionally and mentally healthy. Why? Creating less chaos in your mind, right? So you are mentally more healthy. You see clearly what's going on. As we said, we ask a question, we are waiting for the answer, and we will get the right answer. So we can heal the body as well. Right? It overcomes all situations or problems with wisdom. Power to discern. Enable us to touch our wisdom. Any thought on that? And it secures us in real values instead of desire and fear. Power to discern. I didn't have that power when I was young. Power to discern. I didn't know what it was, and I was really fearful. And I remember once I was to my sister's home. I was around 13, 14 years old. And someone called to sell paper. So he called and I said, no, thank you, we don't want any. But he was talking and talking and talking, and at the end I had bought something, you know, a paper, weekly paper for my sister. So when she came back, I told her, so, you know, Colette, you know what I did? You know, we had a phone call and he was selling his paper, and I couldn't say no. You know, some people, they know exactly what to say, how to sell. They know exactly how our mind works. And today, so many people are studying that to sell. And what they want to do, they want to fulfill all your desires, right? And so they have to find out what are your desires or to create some. Yeah.
If you look at social media, the way it's gone in the last 5 years, today most kids spend
Come. I will not repeat everything. No, you come. That's nice. Thank you.
If you look at where social media has gone for the last 4 or 5 years, Facebook, they've just released studies recently in the last couple of months where they've admitted to the fact that they've created products that were targeted for specific people, and they knew how they were going to grab people, and so people are buying these studies off Facebook, particularly that, so that kids are now, or anybody, not just the kids, are insecure because they don't know their real values. So they're going to the material world, whether it be clothes or anything else, to secure themselves because they believe that that is what is actually real, as opposed to traditionally what truly is real.
I agree with that. Thank you very much for sharing. It's good. Yes, social media, and everywhere you go in a store just to buy tomatoes, and I do come back with many things, you know. I didn't know I needed. I'm still pulled with those things sometimes, and I say, oh my, why did I buy that? And I say, I know why, because I thought I needed it. And sometimes I do, sometimes I do not. So it's even for us who are, can say, mature, we have experience, and sometimes we get caught up, you know, in those things. So yes, the children, the youth, they are not as matured as we are. They don't have as much experience, and they are very malleable. Susceptible, easy to manipulate. That was the word I was looking for. So it's easy to manipulate them, and they learn how to manipulate their parents thereafter. And parents don't have time to sit down, you know, talk or reflect. And what they do, they get manipulated as well. And so this society is like that. We don't say it's good, it's not good, but what can we do, each one of us, to make the difference? What can I do? What can you do in your daily life? Simple things. Everything is worth it. Everything is put on one side or the other side. Let's see, on the balance of the world. And I mean, we know that truth and clarity and inner powers are more sont plus pesants. Il y a oh wow, que ça a plus de portée. It's yeah, we can gain with that, even if there are less people which are, in this spiritual path. There are many people all around the world that are awakening because they can see now that they can change something. They go for sustainable material things, but also sustainable, spiritually sustainable. And so it's a matter of a choice. Everything is a choice. And our power to discern is the one we have to use. And we not only we have to use, but we have to enhance, we have to develop as much as possible this power of discernment. To really see, feel, and think, is it good for me, is it good for others? So it's self-respect and empowering ourselves with these. So what we'll do, we'll end with another meditation commentary, if you wish, and before, any other thoughts that you would like to add on that? No? It's fine? Yeah? It's okay. So thank you for being here, and let's have a few minutes meditation before we go back to our home. Thank you. In this path of spirituality, I can stop and reflect on the real values of the self. What is my role in this society? What is my aim? What do I want to bring to others? I can feel a lot of strength from inside. These reflections brings me back my enthusiasm of giving the best of the self. Sharing thoughts with others, loving them truly, and be honest with the self. The subtle energy that brings light into the world. I cannot reach each place physically, but I can do it with my thoughts. Whenever I sit and become peaceful and calm, from here, from this place, I can send waves of love, of true love and happiness and peace to the whole world. And I can also just send light. Everyone needs light. Some are living stressful situations, and they need my vibrations of peace, of calm. Everyone needs my pure thoughts, my pure wishes. We can be all connected, all one. Every thought I have has an impact in the world. Let's keep myself, my mind, clear enough to see the truth, to send clarity, to remain honest with the self, appreciating everyone for who they are, souls, beings. I embrace the old world and Mother Nature in my arms. And I fill them with peace, love, and hope. Om Shanti. Thank you for being here, sharing with me. We'll do other powers next month, so we'll do 2 per month for the next 3 months, I said. So it was really a real pleasure to be with you tonight and to be able to share with you, and I think that the power is what we do need, right? Everyone who doesn't need power, the true power, power from inside. So just stay put. I will go and look for some blessings, because some of you didn't have any blessings, so I can find some, Lynn, in the cupboard, or... Yes, she will find out some blessings for you. So a blessing is, it's really a thought that belongs to you. You will find out that it fits for you. It's not something that we choose to give you, but it's something that you attract to yourself. Yeah, that's nice. And I usually put them everywhere. Put them in my bathroom. I have some in my purse, in my books, you know. So I have a little bit everywhere. I have a big box because 10 years, 10 years here in Peace Village in Quebec City. So I collected them. But some are touching me, like this one that I shared with you, really touched my heart. And now it's forever that I will have it, right? I will take another one for other occasions probably, but that one was really helpful to help me to regain confidence and hope, because sometimes when you go through situations, sometimes it's for days or weeks, you know. It's not because we are meditating for 10 or 15 years that we don't come through those situations. We do. And sometimes we take one medicine. It's not the good one, so we have to try another medicine. So I'm so pleased to be here, and I hope you will come again. Don't forget that on Sundays we have meditation from 7 to 8 every Sunday night, and also all the lectures on Wednesday. We have many things for you, classes. We do our best to bring some peace in the world. Thank you. Om Shanti.